Is it just me, or are Bandai's model kits crap lately? Oh no, I don't mean those. Those are awesome. I'm talking about these. Introducing the shittest plastic models money can buy. This is Bandai's new line of model kits called Unko Suru Days, which basically means making poop days or days spent making poop. And speaking of making poop, that's what we're doing today. And if you want to make poop too, I got these from those awesome people over at Hobby Link Japan. So if you want some crappy plastic model kits of your own, link down there in the description. Alright, so we're jumping right on into it with this one right here, which is Unko Suru Days #1 Clay Model Kit Fighter Unko. And it says here, stick parts into the Unko. Just in case you're not familiar with Unko, that's a kind of, well, I guess it's just the Japanese word for poop. This right here is a clay model kit. On the side, we've got some indication of what we're going to be seeing in here, which is, well, you've got a poop mold, you mold your poop, and then you stick your plastic parts into said poop. On the other side, there isn't really a whole lot to see. And the bottom and the top just kind of give you an indication of what you're going to be getting inside. We've got 3 types. So we've got the Fighter Unko. Number 2 is the Idol Unchi, which is more of a, I guess, softer word for Unko. And finally, then the Cyber Warrior Unko. So yeah, taking a quick peek on the sides of these boxes, you can kind of see you've got some pink poop in this one, yeah, nothing on that side. Pink poop in this one, you mold up your poop and stick in some parts. I don't know what they were smoking over in Bandai, but they need to smoke more of it. This is fun. Anyway, I don't know, well, might as well start with the first one. In my mind, I'm wondering if I mix all 3 of these clays together, will it become brown? And did they intend that? But I guess we'll check out what is inside Unko box the first. So on getting that open, we've got one single bag of pieces, so kind of similar to what you would see inside of a Gundam model kit. We've got clear and kind of a semi-clear here. There are some stickers included, so it's kind of like an SD kit. Might as well dump out everything else that is inside of this. We've also got what we have in here for molding. This is a clay, but it's a super lightweight clay. And then finally we do have our poop mold. Now, I know for definite someone out there, whether Japanese or otherwise, is going to use this for actually molding their actual poop into a funny cartoon poop shape. Not sure if they'll stick the parts into it or not, but that's a really funny concept to me. Someone is going to mold their poop with this. Not me. I won't do it. Alright, so we do have some parts in a bag right here for busting on out. I could get a knife, but I don't wanna. There are the parts. Here then are the instructions. So yeah, around here it's just giving you the general idea of how the poop works out. Tells you how to mold your poop, which I guess is a good place to start. And then you cut out your little pieces and stick them into the poop. Of course, I'm going to have to stick some Gundam pieces into a poop to make a Gundam poop. And I don't know which would be the best color for a Gundam poop. Orange, pink, or what was the other one? Green. Guess we'll find out. Anyway, first off, let's mold us a poop. So entertainingly enough, the actual poop mold is a model kit. So before you get poop molding, I don't know how many times I'm going to say poop in this video, but maybe I'll stick with Unko or Unch. If you're going to be molding your Unch, you need to cut it out first. Unch mold. We seem to have a little bit of a cap here with a quick release Unch release. And as for putting together the actual Unch capsule, we've got 3 C-clips here, which you actually bend this around just like so. Lock it into position. We've got this locking mechanism right here, which will lock this so your Unch won't burst out the sides. And now it's time to add the Unch, it seems. Alright, so this right here is your block of Unch. It does kind of look like a cheese. It doesn't feel like a cheese. It feels really soft. It's a very lightweight clay. Oh, it's kind of greasy. Ew. Oh, and it stinks. Not like poop stink. Just like, I don't know, like toilet cleaning product? I'm not sure. Oh, okay, it's slimy. I didn't expect it to be slimy. There we go. There's a little bit of a close-up of the Unch stuff. Oh, does it want me to roll this up? I should really be wearing gloves. Is this gonna dye me orange? Check it out. Whoa, that's a fun clay. Okay, the greasiness is only on the outside. Maybe it's just a residue from being in the package. It's actually starting to feel quite nice now. Smells still a bit strange. All right, so step 2 of this number 2 is you cram your Unch in here. It seems like with one of these kits, you only have enough Unch material for the 1 Unch. All right, okay, we've got the oonch crammed in there. Now it's time to screw on the lid. All right, push it in. We've got some of the excess oonch squeezing out. And then you screw it while the poop slowly comes out the hole. Oh no, I went along the wrong thread or something. No, maybe it's right. Is it right? Just keep going. Yeah, yeah. Squeeze it out. Oh, we kind of got a little bladed section in there, so it's cutting away the oonch while we twist. All right. Now it is time to unscrew and release the oonch. That's actually been cut quite clean down there. Nicely severed oonch. This pops off, opens on a hinge, and there we go, our perfectly molded, fresh oonch. We got a little bit of a mold line down the side, but overall, kind of wet. Next, we just cut out all of the parts that are included in here off these two runners in the usual kind of Bandai model kit kind of way. And then you get this little bit of a spread right here, your poop and all the parts to put it together. The instructions looking very, very simple, so let's get it snapped. Alright, so here is everything ready to go. So this shouldn't be too difficult, I wouldn't think. There are some hollow parts in a lot of these, so that is worth knowing. Alright, so A2 to B6. So this does have a little bit of a keyhole locking aspect. It just pops on like so. And then you rotate round, which locks this section into the cuff. You can choose hand or boxing glove. I'm going to go with the hand on one side, the boxing glove on the other, just so you can see them both. Exact same thing then on this other side. So you just pop it on and rotate round. And that, I shit you not, is pretty much where the instructions end. From there, you're like on your own. So you just have to make it look a little something like this. You use these stickers for the eyes. I'm going to go with the ones with the giant eyebrows because they are kind of the funniest. So do you just stick them directly on, or do you stick them onto this little bit? Ah, I see. The eyes stick onto this, like so. And the brows stick onto these pieces. All right, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so now we're cooking with fire. We've got absolutely everything ready to go for this poop. So we've got a headband that rests onto the top, I guess, coil of the coilie. The feet just stick up on into it. It's fine that they've ball joints and you just literally cram them up into the poop like so. The arms also pop in. I'm gonna kind of put them backwards a bit to give him a little bit of a dynamic pose of sorts. This part here for his gi, bow for attaching in around back. And then finally we bring him to life with the eyes. There's one and there is two. The positioning could have been a little bit better, but you get the gist. So there we go. There is the poop model kit. Is it everything that you were expecting? All I can say is it's very, very soft as it expected to be. I'm not sure if it'll even stand up. Oh, there goes his headband. Can he stand up? Oh, it can. Never mind. Also in here we do get some options, including this, which is apparently some nunchaku. But to me, this looks like a stand you'd stick in his back or something. But yeah, that's his weapon. And I suppose now all that's left is to give him a little spin and see exactly what he looks like. Alright, so now jumping into the full 360-degree spin of Unchi number 1 Fighter Unko. So this is the number 1 of the 3 poo model kit. And well, what can I say? It's not usual that I don't really, or I struggle to find the words to describe what I'm looking at. But this is one of those days. It is a kind of martial arts poop with a black belt, a headband, and an angry face. I have to say now, I'm actually voicing this over after all 3 are complete, and this is the one that seems like the most kind of fully fledged idea. It's got a nice bow round back, and overall just works. The eyes are cool, and it does look like a little character. It looks like a little mascot, and works out very, very well compared to the other 2, which feel, especially the 3rd one, a little bit like they're struggling for ideas. So moving on to number 2 in more ways than one. This is the Idol Unchi inside of the box. A lot pinker than what we would have seen before. So 1 set of plastic, 1 poop mold, some pink poop, and the instructions on how to poop. Seeing as this is essentially what we've seen before, I'm going to speed through it. So poop mold in pink, set of sticker expressions for using with it, so quite a few, as well as a little golden poop icon down there. When it comes to the plastic in here, we've got some wings and little frilly bits, and there is the pink runner, so all in a kind of translucent but slightly opaque kind of color. Includes a wand. I guess that's where the little golden poop goes. Alright, so cutting out all of the parts, it's exactly the same as we would have seen before, this time just in a nice pink and a nice clear color, both of which kind of have some fully translucent glossy aspects as well as some almost kind of matte opaque finishes on them, which is very, very interesting. Otherwise, pretty much the same as what we would have seen before. So now it's time to, whoa, Calm your fury. I lost an eye. Be careful. But yeah, now it's time to open up the pink poop. I'm not sure if it's going to smell like the other one, which kind of smelled like what I can only describe as a, you know, antibacterial wipe or toilet cleaner. This one just as wet and disturbing. I wonder if these set over time, actually. Yeah, still smells like wet wipe. Look at me getting completely ahead of myself playing with the actual clay, and I haven't even the mold ready yet. So yeah, mold first. Again, super simple assembly. You just pop it on together like so. Lock it in position. I'm going to elongate the poop into a more poopy shape this time, so I'll make sure I can fit all the way to the poop tip. So get that on in there. Give you a better idea of if you're shoving a real poop in. Don't do that. On with the lid. Make sure it's lined up on both sides. And twist. Giving you the full twisty poop experience around this side. Just shave off all of that excess poop. Take off the lid. Open the little latch. Pop it open. And there we go. One perfect pink poop. Add that to the parts. So next up then we've got the idle unchi. This builds up in pretty much the exact same sort of way. You get the poop, you stick all the parts into it. This one has definitely more parts and it's definitely failing a little bit under the load that it has to take. There's a lot sticking in and that means a lot kind of falling off. There are some optional parts including the wings as well as the halo, which aren't in the actual normal build. A build if that's what you could call it. But overall simple again. Eyes a little bit on the difficult side to line up. Maybe it's better to go with the ones that are, well, a pair as opposed to separate. But yeah, again, easy to put together. I'm not sure though how well it will hold together over time. And once it is finished, this right here is what we get. Now look at that. Have you ever seen a better model kit in all of your life? Yeah, see what I mean? Halo doesn't like to hold on too well and I feel like I'm going to mulch the back of its head entirely trying to stick it on. But ooh, there we go. Let's give it a spin before it completely deteriorates. So there we go, there's number 2 spinning around. That is the clay model kit Idle Unchi, the second one from the batch. So this one is the obvious kind of girly style one. So if you want yourself a cute or kawaii kind of poop model kit, this is the one for you. The colors chosen here are probably the nicest out of the lot. So these are the nicest colors. You've got that nice opaque clear, which is almost white. The pink, the multiple different kind of finishes. We've got some parts that are glossy, some parts which are kind of frosted. Look at me actually talking seriously about a little clay poop with a face on it. Doesn't even have a full face, just has 2 eyes. And I should have used the other side than this side because she's got a bit of a manky scar across her face because of the way it actually all worked out. Anyway, that it is what it is, I guess. A lot of fun. Apparently they dry out, so maybe don't move them around too much before they're actually dried because this one's fallen over quite a little bit. So here we go, the final unch of them all, the Cyber Warrior Unko. So of course this is the Cyber Warrior Poo. We do have 2 eyes and a mono eye. Apparently we've got a hand cannon as well, so I would say quite a lot going on inside of the box, but that would be a little bit stretching it. So we've got some plastic, once again another poop mold, this time in a nice shade of green, some green poop material. So when it comes to building the final poop right here, it's pretty much exactly the same as before, except this time I went absolutely beast mode and just pulled them off the runners with my hands, which is actually what you can do. Just in case you are getting these for kids and you don't want to give them something sharp like a nipper, they can just be pulled off just like so, even though it's hard enough to do, I will admit. Once you have all the pieces taken apart just like so, just like the last 2 times, you do have to mold the poop, so I molded it in the exact same way. But I did notice after each subsequent mold, I did have some poop left over, and with the 3 pieces of poop, I wanted to see if they'd mix together and make brown. I wanted to know if the orange and the pink and the green were chosen specifically that when mixed would make a brown, but sadly no, the orange dominates them all, and it just became a kind of pastel orange. Also, I wanted to know if there was enough to make another 4th poop out of these 3, and yeah, but no, it's kind of a hollow poop, but it's still a poop nonetheless, so I made another poop, 4th poop. As for the assembly of the parts in here, this one's kind of cool. It's got some clear parts to give it a little bit of a kind of techno or kind of Tron-esque feel. There's stickers as well for over these if you prefer that kind of shiny look. We've got some armor, shield, sword, an arm cannon in here, and I just put it together just like this. I did go with the XI sticker. There are a few, including a mono eye, because I thought that it'd be funny, but once it was on, it didn't actually read as eyes at all. I'm popping off the eyes. It actually leaves an imprint of eyes, which I feel like Bandai definitely must have thought out. The actual parts that attach in for the eyes almost print eyes into it. Anyway, I went with the standard beady little eyes, and this right here is what I got in the end. The 3rd and final poop right here is the clay model kit Cyber Warrior Unko. Now this one is the one that I feel is the most least realized feeling of them all. Bandai had a great idea here with the kind of Tron-esque kind of feel. The arm cannon is a cool touch. There is a sword included as well, but the kind of clear parts in the matte black could have worked a lot better, maybe. I guess they don't really pop so well against the actual poop itself. You don't really get too much in the lines of interesting eyes in here besides the kind of mono eye kind of bit, and it's just bare around back. This one just doesn't work quite as well as the others. There's such a chance to actually have an actual Gundam poop model kit, but I'm guessing Bandai has issues even within its own licenses. There should have been a Gundam one. A Gundam poop is what we all want and deserve. So once again, an absolute superstar of a model kit. Just check this little guy out, his little arm cannon. He kind of doesn't look like he knows where he's looking or attacking at all. There is the option of a sword, like I mentioned, and this shield right here. Also, as far as I know, this does dry out, so you end up with an actual finished dry model kit in the end. And the instruction says you have a few times to actually try this out before it actually ends up fully solid. Once the outside is dry, they say you're done. That's it, you're finished. So I'm just gonna try each of these once. And I do have a little bit of poop left over. This is the mix. As you can see, it is hollow underneath. There wasn't enough to make a full one, but if you had 4 poop kits, you would have enough poop left over. Again, it didn't mix to brown, sadly, like I hoped it would. If I pooped and it was this color, well, I'd be running to the doctor. But what I want to do with this is to try out its quote-unquote compatibility with Gundam model kits. So what I've got right here is the high-grade revived version of the Oryx 78-2. So I'm going to be stealing his arms as well as his legs. Seems like I should be looking for a kit that has pegs that go out the way. Not all high-grade Gundam is the same entirely. I know, I'll just shove them on in. And of course the head too. Do I need the head? Do I want the head? Let's just kind of see how this goes. I'm just gonna shove the leg up in there. Shove this leg up in there. Okay. It's not feeling too secure at the moment. Probably because it's not designed for this. Shove on in an arm. The connections just don't feel deep enough. So if your dream was to have a poop Gundam, the compatibility really isn't fully there out of box, sadly. It kind of just melts away, sadly. So anyway, that right there is it for the review of the Unko model kits, and all I can say is I can finally dust the dust off of my brown tier ranking. I haven't used it in quite some time, and it's not that I necessarily think these kits are bad per se, it's just they are what they are, and that is a pile of shit. Honestly, they're a little bit of fun, they're cute mascots. I'm not necessarily sure how well they actually harden up. If I'm actually editing this review tomorrow or the day after or something like that, I'll throw a little something in here to let you know if they've hardened up or not, because at the moment they're kind of flopping over ever so slightly in front of me. Anyway, what else can I say? They're little clay poops. They cost around €6 or $7, so make of that what you will. And at the end of the day, they are kind of like a little kid's toy, so they're probably fun for kids, or if you like to play around with poop. There are more on the way because I've seen stuff like cats and various different colors in blue and white, so there are more poops on the way, thankfully, I guess. Anyway, got mine through Hobby Link Japan, link in the description, and I'll see you next time. It wouldn't be the end of the video without special thanks to each and every single one of you guys for watching my videos, and special thanks to the channel members and the members over on Patreon, including Caleb, Engelhardt, Joe, RG59061, Scotty Thomas, Simon, and Van Fawn.